It's a beautiful Thursday afternoon in Murray County. We're just outside of Spring Hill city limits for some Bulldog baseball. It's Hickman County on the road playing against the Spring Hill Raiders. First pitch coming your way in a few moments. Welcome to WNKX. We are 45 minutes down the road in Spring Hill, Tennessee, as your Hickman County Bulldogs are set to do battle with the Spring Hill Raiders. I'm Josh Copley, joined as always by Colby Shelton on YouTube and the Access Tennessee app, available on Roku. And Colby, this is going to be Hickman County's toughest test yet, if not one of their toughest tests yet.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's going to be a real tough one for multiple reasons. One, it's you're playing up a A to 3 against Spring Hill, who's just been a good team for a long, long time. Another reason is you're thinking about district play next week, and this could be a little lapse or a lull in your mind for today and tomorrow. Just some weird games, non-district away games that you need to stay locked in. Basically, is what I'm saying, Josh. Like this is a very important time to still keep going up there with a plan to attack and doing that and trying to effectively do that.
And Colby, there are a few variables as well. Hickman County not only going to have to beat a really good Spring Hill team, but they're going to have to beat a motivated Spring Hill team who's playing on their senior night tonight. We just saw a few moments ago the festivities concluded where their seniors were honored, and we know there's always going to be a bit more added emotion whenever you factor all that in. And also, Colbs, they're playing on a turf field tonight.
Yeah, we were talking beforehand if they have this year, and I can't remember. Maybe like one early in the year, but it's different. And if people say it, like I know the Titans are building a new stadium, and they were talking about they're trying to get as real to grass as possible. It's going to be different either way. For baseball purposes, it's the ball is going to be bouncing off of it harder, which means if a ball is hit like the third base, for example, it's coming in with some velo. So you got to be ready for that. When playing the outfield and a ball drops, it's going to kind of check up and hop. Like there's stuff like that. Uh, Also, we talked about it's never fun to slide on turf. So honestly, being committed to slide is a big deal here. It's just different, and you don't want this to affect your play. You want to just come in here and act like it's real field, and it is.
So we are underway from Spring Hill. Major Quall's first pitch swinging, flies it to left field, and the play is made for the first out. So it's one pitch and one out for Nolan Brister on the mound of the Raiders. And Colby, I think this is a good time to check in on the Spring Hill defensive alignment. Looking at their outfield from left to right, it's Ethan Christie in left. In center field, it's Hayden Reichman. And in right field, it's Owen Bernardo. At third base, it's Christian Hunzinger. At shortstop, it's Will Bailey. At second base, Samuel Traub. At first base, it's Hunter Reichman. Behind the plate is Landon Riley. And on the mound, we've already mentioned him, it's Nolan Brister. Now it's the two-hole hitter for the Dogs stepping in, Andy Kraft. Andy has found himself right at home in that two-hole. He started to find his swing again, hitting the ball hard up the middle or to the right side of the field. And Brister tried to go with the first pitch breaking ball, misses out of the zone. Back-to-back breaking pitches. This one gets a swing and a miss out of Kraft.
Yeah, we've seen Andy be kind of what we thought he was the past two games. There he is again, just
and
hitting balls really hard.
Smoke to left center field. That's down for a hit. And that two hops the wall. And Andy coasts into second with a stand-up one-out double. And that seems to be a reoccurring theme this year, Colby. Anytime we talk about a player, something notable happens.
Yeah, we probably should just do that more often, I think, is our scouting report. But no, Andy Kraft has looked really good of late. We remember 2 games ago against Montgomery Central, he was just hitting the ball everywhere, and he's right back on track hitting the ball in the gap.
Brister, a little slide step. Spiegelmeyer, first pitch swinging, skies to center field. And the catch is made. Kraft comes a few steps off second, thought about tagging, but ultimately retreats. So now a man who's found himself back in the top half of the lineup after batting 9th for the last week and a half to 2 weeks is Carter Bates, number 5. And Colby, I really think he's earned this spot back in the lineup at the 4-hole.
Yeah, this lineup has a 1 through 9 of guys that can produce, and though not everyone has like consistently through the year, everyone can. As a foul ball goes right above our heads. But it's good for him. I mean, he's earned it, and let's see if he can drive in our run with 2 outs. That's kind of what he did a bunch to start the year.
The 0-1 pitch off speed, called strike 2. Brister known for a lively fastball, but also has really good stuff, if you will. A lot of break on his off speed, keeps hitters off balance. Bates, hard hit up the middle. It's off the glove of the second baseman. Kraft is waved home, and the Bulldogs strike first.
And Josh, that is pretty different coming off turf than off grass. I mean, you see the ball hop head high off of that, and it's really a tough play for the second baseman. It's hit hard. It's a great hit by Carter Bates to hit one hard the other way, and it just ate him up coming off that turf. But big first run in the first inning.
And that play also shows no matter how often you play on a field or practice on a field, nothing can quite prepare you for wicked hops like that. Traub, good defender, hard to make anything with what we just saw. Bates just hit it on the screws. Pickoff look to first, dives back in. And Colby, that's something the Bulldogs just haven't been doing recently, and that is putting the ball in play hard on the ground and making the defense make the mistakes. And Chesser holds off on a breaking pitch in the dirt. He's ahead in the count 2-0.
Yeah, timely hitting has not been their calling card as of late. It's been a lot of sporadic hits or walks, or they just can't figure out how to string some of those together. And it's a good start to the game, changing that.
Takes a bit off and gets it in on the outside corner for a called strike one. Chesser swings 2-1, and that's through the 5-6 hole. It's a 2-out single for Braden Chesser. So now the Bulldogs have first and second for number 24, Kylan Seal.
Yeah, Braden kind of just does that, right? He just works counts deep. He was up 2-0 in the count and gets a pitch to hit and just hits it through a hole somewhere. I mean, he's an experienced hitter in a freshman's body, Josh.
Some of the Bulldogs needing more 2-out magic. The pass ball gets under the glove of the catcher, and now the Bulldogs have a couple of runners in scoring position with 2 outs.
Important to note that Spring Hill has padded walls, whereas we just have the back portion padded. Rest of it is brick. So just important to know it's a little deeper. It's going to come off softer off the wall, so you got a little bit more time to move on the bases on a pass ball.
Fastball is in for a called strike. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball, called strike 2. Now Seal just looking to put a ball in play. Brister trying to minimize the damage. Hits it hard at the shortstop. Feels the long hop, the throw's high, pulls the first baseman off the bag. But a heads-up play to apply the tag, and the inning's over. But the Bulldogs able to push across one. It's 1-0 Hickman as we head to the bottom half of the first. So, Colby, we mentioned it on the last broadcast against Zion Christian on Tuesday. This is pretty much a home game for you. I guess to do a little bit of a personal profile for the listeners that don't know, you did live in Hickman County, grew up there, but now you call Spring Hill home.
Grew up there, came back after college and lived with the parents for a bit. Moved to Franklin for a bit because that's where I work, and now I live in Spring Hill. Me and Josh, full transparency, I got done with work in Franklin at 4. Met Josh for Zaxby's down the road, which Jake Martin hates on Zaxby's, okay? This is a little segue. But, man, Zaxby's is great. Anyway, it's awesome every time. But, yeah, it's like 12 to 15 minutes from where we are now. So, yeah, this is great for me. And then after the game, I can go home and get a good night's rest. So, I'm all for this, Josh.
And, Colby, we see Hickman County, they were able to pack the stands here tonight. Now, of course, this is the last week of the regular season. A lot of these parents, friends, other family members are trying to see as many games as they can before the season's over with, before some of these seniors are done playing forever. And it's sad to say, it's sad to see, but it is good to see all these fans here tonight. Spring Hill, not too bad of a drive.
No, it's an easy drive. It's a quick one. Other side of Columbia, basically. But you can get here in like 45 minutes. Like it's not bad at all.
So leading off for Spring Hill, it's the shortstop, number 27, Will Bailey. And on the mound for the Bulldogs, it's the ace, John Michael Lewis, trying to replicate the success that he had last week against East Hickman. And Colby, if he's pitching like that, he's borderline unstoppable.
Yeah, we saw him have 13 strikeouts to match Presley on the other side, who also had 13. So that was a pretty amazing performance.
And Lewis pounding the zone early. It's a first pitch fastball to Bailey, fouled off down the right field line, out of play. Lewis winds and deals. Another fastball lined into right field, fading fast, but Wyatt Bates is there to make the running catch. And after that play by Bates, let's take a look at the Hickman County defensive alignment. Playing left field is number 14, Major Qualls. In center field, Aiden Spiegelmeyer. And in right field, it's Wyatt Bates. Looking at the infield, at third base, it's Kylan Seal. At shortstop, it's Andy Kraft. At second base, it's Braden Chesser. At first base, it's Carter Bates. Behind the plate is Braden McCaleb. And on the mound is John Michael Lewis. And plays like that, Colby, certainly help a pitcher sleep a bit easier at night, because Bates had to cover a lot of ground. That line drive was sinking very, very fast.
It was a really good read. I mean, he saw it right away almost and really made an aggressive break towards that ball and caught it chest high. That's how good of a read he got.
It's the two-hole hitter, Hayden Reichman, number 23, stepping in. Lewis, the 1-1. Takes a bit off and gets a swing and a miss.
Yeah, if that's going to be a thing tonight for John Michael to pair with that fastball, that might be a problem.
Lewis has had problems locating that off-speed pitch in the past. But as you said, Colby, if he's on, it gives hitters not just having to worry about his high-velocity fastball, but also you have to be wary of the off-speed. And if he's mixing correctly, too, it's almost impossible to guess or to get a good read.
Yeah, that's one of his keys throughout this year is being able to locate not just the fastball, but the off-speed stuff, whether that's his changeup or that little cut slider right there. I mean, if you can just sit fastball if you're Spring Hill, then it's going to be a pretty easy night, no matter how hard he throws it. But if you can locate everything, then it's pretty hard to hit.
So Lewis ahead in the count 1-2 to Reichman. And it's fouled off. A pretty unconventional foul ball. Lewis was buzzing the tower of Reichman. He ducked out of the way, almost got out of the way, all except the bat.
You just hear a collective groan from Spring Hill supporters, and even see a little laugh on the mound from John Michael looking back at Andy Kraft. That was pretty funny right there, if I do say so myself.
The 1-2 again. Fastball grounded to first. Seal, or it's Bates rather. Nice backhand. Feeds over to the covering Lewis. And it's 2 up and 2 down. So already, Colby, we're seeing the Bulldog defense paying dividends. We noticed that in the games recently that Hickman County has lost, the communication just hasn't been there. And right there, nice communication between Lewis covering the bag and Carter Bates over at first.
We both know, Josh, playing that first base position, that's one of the tougher plays, not because it's a hard thing to stay down on the ball. I mean, that's the simple part. The hard part is the next part where you kind of sit there and calculate, do I have time to flip? Do I have time to get over there? What do I do? So that was really good. Like, looked really smooth, and that first pitch from John Michael was pretty gross.
It's a first pitch strike, swing and a miss on the low breaking ball. The 0-1, another breaking ball, check swing. No, we did not. It was close, but no cigar.
He's getting some attempts right now on that pitch that's going to go a long way tonight if he can keep that up. I mean, that's going to make that fastball look even more unhittable.
It's a 1-1 to the Spring Hill pitcher, Nolan Brister. Fastball right there for a called strike 2.
And folks, you can kind of see on a camera, that's kind of just the definition of tunneling. You know, he's throwing a cutter, starting middle, going away, fastball in. It's tough to cover the whole plate as a hitter.
Breaking ball low. Check swing. They're going to appeal again, I believe. Again, no, he did not. But again, Colby, like you were saying, these hitters are still thinking about it.
And as a pitcher, catcher, even the guy calling pitches, which is Coach Duchesne tonight, it's everything's in place still. After seeing that, you can still go fastball. You can go back to the cutter, whatever you want.
Chopper to short. Kraft plays the big hop, has to fire to first, and he beats the throw. Infield single for Brister. Now Spring Hill has a 2-out base runner. But John Michael did execute his pitch, got some weak contact, just a bit of hesitation. Kraft found himself in between.
Yeah, it's that's part of that turf component we talked about. I think he thought, oh, I can't really come and get this because I know it's about to bounce really high, and I don't know if I can make it there before that bounce. But you just got to know it's top of the order. It's probably a fast guy running. You kind of have to go all out and come get that ball. But either way, John Michael, that's good execution. If you're on the mound, you can't do anything about it. That's exactly what you wanted.
So I suppose you ruled that an infield hit for Brister, who was moving down the first base line. So now it's the cleanup hitter, the catcher, Landon Riley, number 20. Lewis looks over to first, and Brister's back in. Fouled right back into the net. I wonder if any of the viewers at home jumped a little bit, because that ball is as close to the camera as you could probably get.
A little free jump scare for you people at home.
Number 12, Jonah Gibson, in to run for the pitcher Brister at first as the courtesy runner. Lewis ahead in the count, 0-1 to Riley. Runner breaks, pitch out, throw down, on the money, catch and tag, in time. Thou shalt not steal on Braden McCaleb, and the inning's over. So Lewis, despite giving up the 2-out infield hit, the Dogs work out of it with some fantastic defense all around between the catch by Bates in right field, the backhanded play by Carter Bates at first, and now the caught stealing McCaleb showing off the gun that we've been waiting to see ever since his injury, Colbs.
Yeah, that was one of the – I mean, there's been a couple really good throws from behind the dish from McCaleb post-injury, but that one I think was the best we've seen. It might not have been the hardest, but it was on the money, on time, which is important there. And, yeah, that was just perfect. Perfect pitch call, too. Shout out Coach Duchesne. A little pitch out, modified pitch out to get him fully stood up, shoulders turned, ready to fire, and – yeah, that was pretty perfect of a play call and an execution there.
And Colby, it's plays like that where you really see the chess match take place between both teams' coaches. For the third base coach of Spring Hill, you're thinking, okay, when do I put on the steal sign? And for Coach Duchesne calling pitches, you're thinking, when do I call the pitch out? Because you know there's good wheels at first, and it was just the perfect call there by Coach Duchesne, as you said. And I want to go ahead and acknowledge the two coaching staffs here tonight, of course, for your Bulldogs. Head coach Cody Duchesne, he's assisted by Craig Shelton and Pat Smith. No Cooper Mays in the dugout tonight. And looking over at the Spring Hill side, it's Dan Greenwalt, Rob Coates, and the head coach who some folks may already know, Dennis Pasquantino. And if you keep up with the major leagues, you may know first baseman Vinny Pasquantino, who plays for the Royals and represented Team Italy in the World Baseball Classic. And that's Dennis's son. So it's a small world we live in.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty small, too. Small world, but no, you back to the chess match. I think that's just the fun part of baseball, trying to figure that out. I mean, it's where people that say, like, you don't have to be smart to play or are inherently not smart by saying that. But, yeah, man, that's a fun part. Now we got John Michael up.
Lewis smoked it on the ground to third, past the backhand. And it's a leadoff single for John Michael Lewis. And John Michael is a guy who's been trying to find that swing. Admittedly, he has been struggling these last few weeks at the plate. So how do you capitalize on the momentum of a good first inning on the mound? Come out and get a leadoff base hit.
Yeah, first pitch too. You knew what he was trying to do up there, attack and hit something hard somewhere.
And Bates puts a bunt down the third base line, and it kicks foul. And again, Colby, we see two now backhand attempts by these Spring Hill defenders, neither of which were easy plays by any means.
No.
We saw Hunzinger right there try to backhand it. He didn't have time to square it up and center it up.
Yeah.
Good effort, just hit a little bit too hard. Brister takes a look over at Lewis at first. We haven't seen the courtesy runner implemented yet.
John Michael probably telling Coach Shane in the dugout, hey, I'm too good of an athlete to get ran for.
Slide step, Bates squares to bunt, pulls it back, counts even 1-1. Bates has mastered the bunt hits over these last few games. Squares to bunt, pulls back again low, so good recognition by Bates at the plate. He's now ahead in the count 2-1, and Brister, when you see a batter square, it's easy to overthink it on the mound.
I think it's important just to let them do it and give you that free out.
Breaking ball, Bates pushes it down the third baseline again. Too far foul.
I was actually coming back from Minnesota on the flight, I watched Moneyball, great movie, and you catch something new every time because it's just like fascinating. But Brad Pitt says in there about like some of the things they want to do. He's like, it's just take the out. If they're gonna bunt it, they're giving you out. They're giving up. Do it. So it's hard to do when you're on the mound because you want to be a hero and get the out without letting the runner go by. But yeah, sometimes it's just easier to let them do it.
But Brister now one strike away from escaping the sack bunt situation. 2-2. Bunt sign is off. Lewis delayed steal. The catcher hesitates. Nobody covering the bag. And Colby, that delayed steal is a bit of a lost art in baseball.
I saw it a couple days ago from our Redlegs doing it. I want to say Ellie De La Cruz did it, but I can't quite remember. It is because you're just kind of lulled them to sleep by not doing anything. You can kind of notice the catcher maybe not all the way in it. And then you just take the bag quick and surprise them, which John Michael executed really well, and we see a big-time walk from Wyatt Bates right there.
So great discipline by Bates, and not being able to execute on sack bunts can really hurt your morale at the plate because you feel like you failed in what the only thing you were supposed to do was. But now Bates was able to stay patient, stay disciplined, stay poised at the plate. Now the Dogs have first and second, nobody out, and Ruger Toddy is in the courtesy run for Lewis at second. McCaleb swings first pitch, skies it, straight away center field. The catch is made, Toddy's tagging for third. Cut off, throw is in time, and Ruger's cut down trying to take third. So just like that, the Bulldog rally was snuffed out. 2 outs. Wyatt Bates stands on first as the lineup rolls over to Major Qualls. Qualls flied out to left field on the first pitch of the game. Swings, and that's going to drop into the left center field gap. Bates shoots for third. Throws cut off. And Qualls takes second behind the throw. So a good piece of swinging by Major Qualls, and he's been really aggressive tonight. Both of his at-bats have been decided by the first pitch.
Yeah, sometimes you just see what you like, you just do it. Like, it's pretty simple there, and it doesn't always work. I mean, sometimes that's a bad game plan because you don't get deep in accounts and work the pitcher at all, but sometimes it's right there for you, and Major's done a good job tonight of just swinging away, and also props to him for taking the extra bag on the back end of that play from an errant throw. So, yeah, it's 2 outs, second and third.
And Kraft takes a breaking ball low and away in the dirt, or in the turf. You can still say in the dirt, right?
In the pellets.
Yeah. So it's a 1-1 to Kraft. Fastball outside corner, absolutely dotted by Brister. And now he's 1 strike away from escaping the jam. The 1-2, Brister working quickly. Breaking ball got him swinging. And the Bulldogs Strand a pair. It's 1-0 when we come back. So we're back for the bottom half of inning number 2. The Bulldogs got a few runners on base, but unable to capitalize, and now it's 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Raiders, starting with the catcher Landon Riley, who was at the plate at the end of the last inning, but with the caught stealing, he gets a fresh AB. Lewis delivers, fastball right at him for strike 1.
Lively as well to go along with that slider. That's got to be fun to be able to throw that, Josh. But looks locked in tonight for sure.
The 0-1. Again, goes with a fastball, hit high in the air down the right field line, and it's a foul ball. It seemed to just keep drifting and drifting and drifting and landing into no man's land. But Lewis still ahead in the count, 0-2 to the catcher Riley. Lewis delivers. Breaking ball low and away. He's already gotten a few swings on that pitch early in the ball game. Don't hate the idea to go back to it.
Up 0-2, why not? You know, you've seen some swings on it. You got a pitch to work with, if not another. So, not a bad time to throw it.
And Lewis can still go anywhere, 1-2. He chooses fastball, and it's hit well into right center field. Back it goes, and it's off the wall. And it's still rolling. Riley's through second, hesitates. Spiegelmeier's throw to third is a beauty. It one hops, but it's a leadoff triple for the catcher Riley. So John Michael, after getting a swing and miss at a fastball on the first pitch of the at-bat, tries going back to it, but a nice piece of hitting by Landon Riley.
Yeah, that's that's not a great 1-2 pitch, if I'm being honest. Just a middle fastball, and never really a good time to throw that, I guess. But I can see why, because you go that cutter slider away. You try to throw a fastball that say straight, but on that line, so it looks the same. But yeah, that was snuffed out quickly by Riley, who just I mean, I thought it was gone, but opposite field power. That was a hard hit.
And it hit off the middle of the wall, just a few feet away from a home run. The infield comes in, and it's a first pitch fastball to the 5-hole hitter, Ethan Christie. Christie fouls it off, and Lewis ahead 0-1. And it's not too often you see the infield playing in this early in the game and only a 1-run deficit, but the Bulldogs know the kind of team they're playing tonight.
Also, they know their own offense and how it's been a little lately.
Fastball, straight back into the net. And Colby, we were experimenting with this net because we had to know where to put our camera. It has very little give.
Yeah, it's folks. You guys are safe at home. I did the pull test, and everyone knows I'm a very strong person.
The 0-2 fastball blistered down the right field line and foul. So in this inning, Spring Hill already showcasing their ability to hit the ball hard to the opposite field. The 0-2 again from Lewis. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Gonna have to make the throw to first. And it's in time, so McCaleb completes the 2-3 putout. And it's another strikeout for John Michael.
Really good pitch. That's that cutter slider that he threw. That thing just went too. Like you see some that are a little loopy and kind of predictable. Like you're like, okay, I kind of see some spin. That one was a tight spinner where it was middle all the way and then just dipped out. And great job by Tractor to really block that, take his time, and throw the out at first to save that strikeout.
It's the third baseman, Christian Hunzinger, stepping in. First pitch swinging, line drive to right field, right at Bates. He's tagging and going home. The throw cut by Bates to the plate. And he slides in safely. We're all tied up at 1. So good situational baseball by the Raiders. But another good play in right by Bates to read the line drive, hit right at him, which, as we know, Colby, is never easy for an outfielder.
No, it is not. But he's made 2 good plays tonight where the hardest ball, too, is hit right at you or right under you, I guess, right in front of you. So having to kind of read that is tough. And he's done a good job twice tonight on those balls. Relay wasn't terrible. I don't know if I would have cut the ball as Carter Bates, but he still almost nabbed him too. So, no, it wasn't. Nothing was bad there. It's just a tough break because you gave up a leadoff triple.
0-1 pops him up. Kraft backpedaling. He's underneath it, and he makes the catch. So Spring Hill able to tie it after the leadoff triple, but not much after. Lewis sets him down 3 in a row. We're tied at 1 as we march on to the third. So Colby Nolan Brister enters into his third inning of work. He's already given up 4 hits and 1 run, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. And he's at 29 pitches. The Bulldogs have been seeing him pretty well. 4 hits has been, frankly, the average for Hickman County, it feels like, these last few games. So 4 through 2, not bad.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie, I have 5 because I feel like they gave the error to the second baseman on that hard hit ball from Carter Bates. I think that's where I'm different. So either way, 5 hard hit balls. This lineup looks, I'm going to be honest, completely different right now. They're up there with a plan, whether that's attack early, see something you like, or work counts like Braden Chester did and attack late. Like they look like they've got a plan, and it looks good. But hitting some hard hit balls right now, and that's a big thing right now. Would love to have a couple more runs after what you did, but tie ball game. Keep doing what you're doing. Find a way.
So Aiden Spiegelmeyer plays the role of leadoff in this inning. It's 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Dogs. First pitch on the outside corner for a called strike 1. Spiegelmeyer 0 for 1, flew out to center field last time. Breaking ball, pops it up, and that'll drift out of play just over the Bulldog dugout.
Kind of disappointed no one got up and tried to make a play right there. It's But just glad glad everyone's I guess safe too. I want to see someone make a play so bad, Josh.
0-2 misses outside. Good take by Spiggs. Brister delivers. Tries to speed him up, and Spiegelmeyer stays alive, battling it back into the net. The 1-2, breaking ball. Line drive into center field for a knock. Spiegelmeyer takes a hard turn around first, but with 2 strikes. Nice job of sitting back on the off speed.
I mean, this lineup right now is just barreling balls. Like none of these are cheap shot hits. Like even the error or hit by Carter Bates was hit hard, just on the ground. So there's some there's some balls getting crushed right now, which is good. Keep it up. I mean, we haven't seen that in a little bit, so that's good.
First pitch. Outer third, strike 1.
I will say Brister's doing a pretty good job right now on some of these pitches, like locating that outside pitch. His pitch has a little two-seam comeback on it, and he's doing a good job finding the outside zone.
Spiegelmeyer takes off, and Riley can't handle it on the transfer, so without a throw, Spiggs takes second. And the Bulldogs have a runner in scoring position, nobody out for the cleanup hitter, Carter Bates. Down 0-2, breaking ball, goes down and gets it, fouls it out of play.
That's so good. That's so awesome. It's the thing we talked about a lot with Braden Chesser earlier this year because he was kind of the king of it. But having a guy that can just battle and like, hey, that's probably not a strike, but I don't want to chance it, and just fouling it is awesome.
Another breaking ball, Bates swings. Spiegelmeyer was watching very closely on the throwdown of first, but the Raiders complete the 2-3 putout and the strikeout of Brister. So it'll be Braden Chesser. He's 1 for 1, singled into left field on a ground ball between the third baseman and shortstop. The Bulldogs would love another one of those. The first pitch, breaking ball, drops in for strike 1. The 0-1, another breaking ball. This one misses just off the black to even the count 1-1.
Yeah, he almost has like, I guess traditional people would say slider and curveball, but he has more of a horizontal breaking ball, which you just saw in that first pitch was vertical.
And Chesser, a line drive into right field. And the right fielder makes the catch, Bernardo. 2 away in the top of the third. But Colby again, another hard hit ball by the Bulldogs.
It was, and I think what you can kind of tell is the fastball that they're living off of right now. Some of those curveballs and stuff are pretty good, but that fastball, he sometimes misses middle, and these guys are swinging hard at those right now.
Kylan Seal takes a first pitch heater high for ball 1. Kylan grounded out to the shortstop Bailey his first time through. The 1-0 Spiegelmeyer breaks, a little hit and run put on by Coach Deshane, and Seal fouls it straight back, and Spiegelmeyer begrudgingly has to make the long walk back to second. The 1-1 to Kylan, breaking ball. Strike 2. Brister trying to strand another Bulldog base runner. The 1-2. Outside, nice pick behind the plate by Riley.
That was a pretty huge pick for Springfield. If not, Spiggs is coasting into third base with a stolen bat, or I guess wild pitch.
Seal evens the count 2-2. The deal from Brister. Outside, full count. 3-2, 2 outs. Spiegelmeyer doesn't have to break here on the pitch, but he just might.
Yeah, he's no forces on, so he didn't have to, but with his speed, he might just why not go ahead and try to get that extra base if something's hit somewhere.
And Seal calls time at the plate. And even more so, Colby, there was nobody previously holding Spiggs on at second. That might change as Bailey creeps in behind him. The 3-2 swung on and missed. And the Bulldogs strand another. We're still tied at 1. So John Michael Lewis back out for his third inning of work. He's given up 2 hits, 1 run, hasn't given up any walks, and he's recorded 1 strikeout. And Colby, John Michael gave us a bit of a wake-up call.
Yeah, I obviously don't think it's on purpose because he's trying to warm up between innings, but he did give us a little smile after that one hit the backstop. I thought the table fell over. That's what it sounded like. But no, he's such a fun kid to be like. He's such a good dude. But you could just tell he loves playing this game. Just misses, but looks at us and smiles.
So it's the second baseman Samuel Traub stepping in. First pitch misses in off the plate and off the glove of Braden McCaleb. And Lewis again just challenging a hitter with the heater. Comes up empty, count even 1-1.
Yeah, that fastball living inside, that slider living outside has been the recipe so far from John Michael. And it continues to be.
Low, dotted at the knees.
Yeah, that's a have fun. Like, what do you do there type of spot.
The 1-2 pitch from Lewis. McCaleb sets up outside. Fastball just off the plate, doesn't get a swing. But a good location. Perhaps the inside part of the plate's opened up again. Gets the sign from Tractor. The 2-2. Breaking ball. Nice pitch, but good discipline by Traub not to bite.
Yeah, that was a great pitch and a great take. That's just good ball right there, Josh, and I'm excited to see this 3-2.
The delivery. Fastball. And Traub fights it off foul, in on the hands. And Colby, we know baseball, half of the season is played during the winter pretty much, and half is played during the spring. And Traub is grateful we weren't in the winter months because that would have been a stinger.
Yep, that would have not been fun at all. Good at bat so far, though.
So we're going to run back the 3-2. Fastball had stilts, misses high, and after a good battle, Traub works the leadoff walk. Now it's the 9-hole hitter, number 4, the first baseman, Hunter Reichman. Traub, who runs pretty well at first, but also Spring Hill has seen the arm now of Braden McCaleb and what it can do. So maybe that causes some slight hesitation when putting steal signs on. Lewis delivers. Reichman takes high for ball one. Didn't miss by much. Time is called, and we're going to have a headlight check.
Oh, we love these, don't we, Josh? These are the best.
I mean, you usually see those in center field. I've never seen a headlight check for...
So this is my favorite part, Josh. The now what? Because you just heard the throw a ball at him was one of the suggestions.
We're getting to our last resort now.
Yeah, you've got hand signals, throw a baseball at the car.
Would insurance cover that?
Absolutely not. For neither parties.
Oh, we are... This is awesome. We're still in limbo.
And this, folks, is why you come to the games, to see fun stuff like this. Hey, look at that. On senior night, it's a miracle.
And we've got a round of applause from the Spring Hill fans.
And back to the game.
1-0 to the hitter Reichman. Lewis kicks and deals, again misses upstairs for ball two. And these last two hitters, Colby, I suppose the latter part of the last at-bat with Traub, John Michaels revisiting those old tendencies of missing fastball high.
Yeah, we saw two good innings of location. And when I said the word location a bunch, those two innings, but his first walk issued was to Traub, and he started this batter off 2-0. So important to just get back in that groove you were having and just simply throw strikes. Let your defense work behind you.
And he starts off well on that mission of getting back into the count. Got a swing and miss. The 2-1 fastball inside corner for strike two. Again, Colby, it's one of those pitches you think, what do you do? I mean, if you swing, it saws you off. If you take, it's called a strike.
And the problem is it is a strike, so you had to do something.
And the 2-2, Lewis checks in on Traub over at first. Reichman, who was ahead in the count 2-0, now faces two strikes, and Lewis again. Look over to first. Lewis delivers. Fastball chopped down the third base line and foul. So Lewis again trying to run inside with the heater. Nice job of protection by Reichman. Traub, pretty modest lead over at first. Lewis delivers another fastball. Slow roller up the middle. Shuffle to second, throw to first, and the Dogs turn two. How about a little 6-4-3 double play? And just like that, there's two away in the home half of the third.
Yeah, I didn't know if that play would get turned because Kraft, we haven't had a ton of those, first of all. Now that I'm thinking about it, I haven't seen a ton of double plays this year, like traditional ones. But Kraft catching that so close to the base, you kind of want him to touch the base and just go. But he flipped to Braden Chester, and maybe that's just knowing who was running down the line. But great play by the Dogs, and great for John Michael to get the ground ball.
First pitch breaking ball as the lineup turns back over to the leadoff man, Will Bailey. He flew out to the right fielder after Wyatt Bates made a nice running play to take away a hit.
There's been some really good breaking balls tonight. That was one that buckled him and finished on the other side of the plate. Really good pitch.
The 0-1 fastball hit hard up the middle, and it's a two-out single for the Raiders shortstop. And Colby, I want to go back to that Hickman County double play turn. You made a good point in that Kraft probably could have taken it himself to the bag, but he was in between. Yeah. It was an awkward positioning for him, and I think he did ultimately make the right decision because we've seen Chester's arm at third base for most of the season. It's rare you get to show off your arm as a second baseman, but he did so right there. No better guy to have.
I think
covering the bag.
You could kind of see that on how almost awkward the flip was because he he turned to flip, and it was almost like he handed it to Braden. So it's like, yeah, it's just you haven't done it a ton this year and haven't had a ton of experience doing it. But either way, 2 outs, you can't complain too much, right?
But Lewis still has to contend with the ever dangerous top half of the Spring Hill lineup. First pitch to Hayden Reichman misses downstairs, and he grounded out to the first baseman Bates his last time up after Carter made a nice backhanded play. And with 2 outs, maybe the Raiders try to push the envelope to get a runner into scoring position. The 1-0. Breaking ball in there for a strike.
See, that one was a little different. It's a little more loopy. It didn't just have that, like, stay on plane and cut off of it. It was kind of loopy out of the hand, so just a different look, and the batter kind of froze up on that. So good job by John Michael to get back into this count.
It's even 1-1. Lewis, little slide step heater, misses low and away. Runner goes, and the fastball is fouled back. So we saw Hickman County attempt a hit and run not all that long ago, and now Spring Hill trying one of their own, and it's Bailey having to make the long walk 90 feet back. Counts even 2-2 with a runner on first. Lewis trying to go 3 scoreless. Breaking ball, got him swinging. And McCaleb applies the tag, and it's 3 scoreless innings for John Michael Lewis, highlighted by the 6-4-3 double play. We're heading to the 4th when we come back. Well, Colby, if the trend continues, John Michael Lewis will be the leadoff man for every inning that is an even number. He led off for the Bulldogs back in the 2nd, and now he leads off here in the 4th. He's 1 for 1, singled down the third baseline on a hard hit ball that just got past the glove of Hunzinger. First pitch, a loopy breaking ball drops in for strike 1. And we've seen both pitchers tonight for the Dogs and for the Raiders utilize different kinds of off-speed. Ones that have more snap, and then off-speed pitches like the one we just saw that goes from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Off-speed, another one in there for strike 2.
Yeah, right now the Dogs got to be able to say, okay, we're about to eliminate that outside part of the zone because that's where he's living right now.
And it's another off-speed pitch. Got Lewis way out on his front foot. And it's 1 up, 1 down to start the 4th.
But yeah, if you're watching right now, you got the best angle to see how many times this catcher is going to go line up middle to away from the right-handed batter on the outside part of the plate. that's basically what you're going to see most of this game.
And again, Brister trying to live low and away. Counts even 1-1 to the 8-hole hitter Wyatt Bates. Fastball misses upstairs, and the strikeout of John Michael Lewis was Nolan Brister's 4th strikeout of the day. The 2-1, off speed. And this inning, that has been Brister's go-to when he needs a strike. It's an even count to Wyatt Bates. Bates, who was able to work a walk his first time. So 2-2, pitcher and catcher not on the same page, and he steps off, and we're gonna.
You see the pitcher shake and smile, and the catcher palms to the sky, like, "Hey, what else do you want me to call? What else do you have?" And they go back to that horizontal-shaped breaking ball that we've seen all night.
3-2 pitch, off speed, and another swing and a miss. Make it strikeout number 5 for Nolan Brister. And we saw last inning, Colby, Aiden Spiegelmeyer, who really should serve as an example to the rest of these Bulldog hitters. Brister tried to go back to that off speed. Spiegelmeyer sat back, hit it hard back up the middle. First pitch swinging by McCaleb, popped up. Second baseman charging, and it's down. And McCaleb reaches. So I suppose chalk that up as an infield single.
Yeah, there's no way that's an error. I mean, that's a tough play, and he almost made it. But sometimes it's just put a bat on the ball. Good things happen. I mean, we preached that a lot this year, and for McCaleb and him right now, kind of slumping a little bit, that helps anyway, anyhow, right?
And now the Bulldogs are back to the top of their lineup. It's Major Qualls. Through 2 at-bats, has only seen 2 pitches. Jackson Smith in the courtesy run for Braden McCaleb. First pitch to Qualls. Down the left field line, fair ball. And Smith throws on the brakes and retreats back to second. So it's a 2-out single for Major Qualls. He's 2 for 3, and he is swinging a hot stick in Murray County.
Reason that guy's leading off this time of year. He's looked awesome of late. This 1-2-3 has been really good of late, and starts with that guy.
So now Andy Kraft looking to replicate what he did back in the first inning. Of course, he had that big double in the left center field. First pitch breaking ball, pops it up right side of the infield. First baseman drifting back, he's under it. And Reichman makes the play. So the Bulldogs strand 2 more runners. It's been the theme of the night, for better or for worse. And we're going to the home half of the 4th, still tied up at 1. So we're back on WNKX for the bottom of the fourth inning. We're tied at 1 apiece. And Spring Hill has 3, 4, and 5 due up, beginning with Nolan Brister. He reached on an infield single to the shortstop, Andy Kraft. And the courtesy runner who replaced him was caught stealing. So John Michael Lewis looking to keep rolling on the bump. First pitch, breaking ball. Driven to left center field. Spiegelmeyer in pursuit. A diving catch in left center field. What a play by Spigs. Wow.
And Josh, what do we say? Put your athletes at the athletic spots. Kraft is playing shortstop, and we just saw one right there. I mean, the whole outfield is pretty athletic, if we're being honest, but one of the better athletes on the team, if not in the district, is playing center field, and he shows it every night. Man, what a play. Like, that was incredible pursuit.
Paying homage to one of the greatest players of all time, Willie Mays, out in center. Goodness gracious. And no one loves that more than John Michael Lewis. Otherwise would have been an easy double for the speedy Brister. So now it's 1 out, bases clear for the cleanup man, Landon Riley. He banged a leadoff triple. He's ahead in the count 1-0. Lewis, breaking ball, big swing and a miss.
Let's just say I put a big red star by that last at bat. Just to go back in the scorebook and go, oh yeah, Spigs just made one of his plays.
The 1-1 runs a fastball inside and just misses. And Colby, I know we've had people around us keeping up with the NFL draft, which is taking place tonight. I saw your reaction. So many Titans fans listening out there who aren't able to keep up with it. They just took Carnell Tate, a receiver out of Ohio State. That's a pretty big pull from the Titans, Colby. I know that'll get a lot of folks around Hickman County excited.
I love it because I know this is obviously this is a little off schedule, but give the guy you just took number 1 overall, give him a weapon. Simple. Great job, Titans.
But back to your regularly scheduled programming, Lewis has a 2-2 count on the catcher Riley. Breaking ball, check swing. No, he did not. Pretty easy call. So now the count's full. And Colby, it was the last at-bat where Riley was up, where Lewis had him at way down in the count 1-2, and then he served up a pretty hittable pitch. Now it's 3-2. He has to be careful because Riley will be hunting for something to hit hard. The 3-2 runs a fastball up and in, and the Spring Hill catcher works a walk. And after what he did last time, maybe a walk not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, this time he only gets 1 base. I'm okay with that. But if you're John Michael, you don't want to get back into that thing that we've seen a couple times where he gets to throw in some errant pitches, specifically with the fastball, walking some guys. He's done a really good job of not only walking now 2 guys. So it's important for him to just stay in that mindset and keep grinding.
So it's number 32, Dodge Olson, in the run for the catcher Riley. And Colby, I know hindsight's 20/20, but if Lewis had just walked Riley last time, it'd still be 1-0.
Yeah, but you're right. Hindsight is 20/20.
Decent leadoff first for Olson. First pitch, chopper to shortstop. Kraft fields the hop. Throw to first, way late. Carter has some trouble with it. Throw to third. In time, the tag. Oh, and he's called safe? Oh, no. Wow. Bang, bang call at third. And if this stands, Spring Hill has first and third with 1 out.
And
And
I'm
Colby,
not sure. I was going to say, I'm not sure if he was in just a bad spot because he's running with the runner down the line, so you can't see at least the shot we have on the other side. But man, I don't know. It looked pretty easy from where we were, to be honest. But yeah, didn't didn't have the same view, so I don't know what he saw.
yeah, and of course, no replay technology. We say this several games. We've said this for several games. It feels like, and the likelihood of this getting overturned is somewhere between 0 and 1%. So we'll see. And they do call him safe. So while a lot of folks here will disagree with the call, the umpire can only call what he sees. So now it's up to the Bulldogs to work out of it. And I want to say, very, very mature display by John Michael on the mound. A lot of the fans were getting heated at the umpire. He kind of walked over and said, "Hey, it's okay. Let's all just take a deep breath." So pretty good leadership on the mound from the senior.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to do in the moment when you're playing, but you just gotta understand you can only control what you can control. I mean, simple as that. It's again hard to do, hard to show, but you just gotta like move on. And all right, this is what we're the hand we're dealt. Let's go attack it.
First pitch is popped foul over the visitor's dugout.
Be interested to see what play they just put on to see. Usually that play, just for our guys out there watching, is for that runner at first. It's just a reactionary play. When he steals, what do you do? Do you throw through all the way to the bag? Is there a cut guy in the front? Do you eat it? Do you throw to third? So it's going to be interesting to see which play they pick, basically.
Pick off the first. And he's called safe. Oh, man. Colby, I think that might have been worse than the first. So it's 0-1. Breaking ball, called a ball. So Coach DeShane calls time, and we're going to have a mound visit.
This is a pretty good time for a mound visit. I mean, just let's get everybody on the same page. Let's chill out. It's come on. It's a non-district game. We're trying to go in here and get a W. John Michaels looked great tonight. It's just this one little hiccup and some stuff you can't really control that might have gone your way, might not have. I mean, it could have just been correct. Whatever. Forget about it. Move on. This is a great move by Coach DeShane to get up there on the mound and say, "Hey, let's attack this guy. Let's not lose him. All right, your stuff's better than anything that these guys are gonna be able to do up there. So just be you. You know, that's probably the message right now. Um, we've already seen a ground ball get him out of an inning. I guess they didn't get out of the inning, but 2 outs right there. You could see a similar thing to get you out of this inning. Who knows, man? It's just got to calm down and get back to work. That's what James got to do.
And Colby, that pickoff move to first might have been pretty telling about Spring Hill's plans because the runner, Christie, he was leaning very much towards second. If that doesn't tell you he's going to try to make a break or a move towards second, I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but it is now something that they should be mindful of if they weren't already.
You can kind of see Coach Duchesne looking at the infield saying, you know, they like to do colors. We used to do numbers for positioning, and so they're in what they call yellow, whatever that might be. What it looks like that halfway depth. So yeah, trying to either cut the runner down if it's hit hard enough, or get that ground ball, get to and get out of here.
So 1-1 count to the hitter Hunzinger. He roped a line drive, which was caught by Wyatt Bates. It ended up being a sac fly. 1-1 breaking ball. Misses just below the knees. It's a pretty good take, Colby, after we've seen a lot of hitters on both sides chasing low breaking pitches. Hunzinger showing some phenomenal restraint. Now he's ahead in the count 2-1. Lewis checks over at first again. Not much controversy with that one, easily back in. Runner breaks. Fastball fouled straight back. And this is Colby with a runner more than likely in motion on a 2-2 pitch. Feels like a must strikeout spot for Lewis on the mound if you want to keep that runner stranded at third.
It's most of the time that's the ideal thing, but definitely here, you're like, if you want to get into a more favorable play or position here, that's the outcome, right?
Lewis comes set. No runner. Curveball bashed into right field for a single. 1 run will score. And it's a 2-strike base hit for Christian Hunzinger. And you kind of felt that was coming, Colby, after he had that hard hit line out his first at bat. And now Spring Hill leads 2-1. And they're still in business with 2 runners on base, 1 at first, 1 at second for the right fielder, Owen Bernardo. And Colby, that will be the end of the day for the Hickman County senior John Michael Lewis. His final line, he went 3 1/3, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts on 58 pitches. And Colby, facing a team as good as Spring Hill, a very, very good outing for John Michael Lewis.
Yeah, I think he threw the ball really well. Just got into some trouble kind of towards the end, but like we said, some of it not on him, some of it, yeah, probably is. That whole thing kind of started with a walk. That's the runner that scored. So kind of that's bit him a little bit all year, but it wasn't bad today. That was only his second all day. I think he looked great. I think the breaking ball looked especially good today. I think we saw that a bunch of chases and swings. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of his performance. I think he should be too. If you're Colin Seal, this is where you've been all year. You've been thrown into fire, and he's been great. The other night he came in against Zion and went an inning and 2/3, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, no hits, no runs. So you're looking for that cutter to do what it does, a little mini Mariano Rivera type action where they're missing barrels, getting soft contact. He's so good at it, and let's see if he can do it again tonight.
And Seal does inherit runners on first and second. John Michael Lewis's final line is still left up in the air because those 2 runs do go against Lewis if they were to come around to score. But now, of course, if you're Kylan Seal, that's not even on the radar of things that can happen in this inning, trying to keep it close. And all it takes is 1 ground ball. As Samuel Traub steps in, the second baseman, he worked a walk his first time up. First pitch, base hit up the middle. And Spring Hill plays it station to station, base is full. And that was Owen Bernardo that had the single. And now it's Samuel Traub, the 8-hole hitter, who worked a walk. So perhaps some good fortune there for the Dogs, Colby, because even after the hit up the middle, which under most circumstances would score a run, didn't. So the infield might creep in and go for the play at the plate with a runner that runs as well as Traub. Your usual ground ball double play, probably not in the realm of possibility. First pitch cutter misses outside. The 1-0 to Traub. Great pitch, called strike 1.
We see Seal when he's on, he's working down the mound efficiently. What I mean by that is that this camera angle, he's coming right towards the plate with everything and letting that cutter really do the movement part.
1-1. Another breaking ball in the dirt. Nice block by McCaleb. And the only defensive changes that happened after that pitching change, Lewis and Seal just swapped places. So Lewis now playing third, Seal, of course, on the mound. The 2-1. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Big time pitch coming. 2-2, bases loaded, 1 out. Breaking ball off the glove, runner breaks. Tag, safe. And Colby, that's the last thing you wanted to do, is when you have 2 strikes on a batter, giving away free runs.
Yeah, that was tough. That's one you can't control. It just gets by. Um, not the best pitch, but it's catchable. You know, just something you can't have happen.
The 3-2. Missed it. Bases loaded. And Colby, that's one of those spots you wish Seal would have just gone right at him. You've gotten a swing and miss in the at-bat already. Make him beat you, you know?
That's the thing with these pitchers that you got to know especially in high school. I mean, they do this in the MLB. You're not trying to throw cupcakes or meatballs in there, whatever you want to call it, but you're throwing strikes. You want them to try to take a swing and hit it. Just got to trust your defense.
Now it's Hunter Reichman. He bounced into the 6-4-3 double play, and the Bulldogs would love another one of those. Seal missing way outside. That pitch dives off the plate into the other batter's box. Reichman way ahead, 2-1. Seal goes right at him, called strike 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you just don't do that every time, especially at the bottom of the order. It's already a cutter that's just gross, but you can just throw it by guys too.
The 2-2. Just missed. 3-2. And Kylan's got nowhere to put him. Pitch from Seal. Fouled back. Big pitch. Called! Strike 3. And the runner halfway between second and third. Kraft was calling for it at first, but with a runner at third, you don't want to, again, give away any runs doing something crazy. But Kylan with a big-time pitch, a breaking ball that caught the letters. But now the lineup rolls over to the top for Will Bailey, and now's, if you're Kylan, now's when you have to be careful.
Absolutely. You still attack, though. You're still in attack mode. He hasn't seen you yet tonight, so you're just trying to not like that over grip and overthrow. You're just throwing your stuff that you know that you're good at. You just got to trust it. Allow your defense to work behind you.
So one of the biggest at-bats of the night. The 1-0 to Bailey in the dirt. Nice block by McCaleb. And Seal definitely pitching Bailey very cautiously. Bailey, who's 1 for 2. He's flown out to right, and he's singled. The 2-0. Chop foul down the first base line. And again, Colby, right there is where you want to see Seal living. Working that cutter, slider, off of each other and away.
Absolutely. I mean, that's where you do it. I mean, I do love the good backup 1-2 inside, but just mixing and matching that. And that's a good one, too, right there.
So pop foul, right side of the net. 2-2 count, and Kylan Seal trying to minimize the damage. This would be a big out. Two. Line drive, fair ball. That'll score 1, definitely 2, maybe 3. Bates throws it in. Stop sign on for the runner at third, and it's a 2-run double for Will Bailey. So now it's number 23, Hayden Reichman. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out to the first baseman and struck out. Strike 1.
And Josh, this is where we were talking before this inning about how many the Dogs have left on base offensively. This is where it starts to hurt you.
0-1, foul back. Keeping us on our toes back here, Colbs. I was ready.
I mean, I think either one of us would have had it easily. I mean, we stared that thing in. It would just right in our gloves if we had any. That would be kind of weird that we're doing this with gloves on, but we aren't, just for
We're not.
transparency to everyone watching.
Our camera's not wearing gloves either.
Nope, no one is.
The 0-2, breaking ball, chopper. Kraft has to come get it. Makes the play, throw to first in time. Inning over, but not before Spring Hill pushes across 4. It's 5-1 Raiders as we're on to the 5th. So now Aiden Spiegelmeyer to lead things off for the Bulldogs in the top of the 5th. First pitch, line drive. And it drops in for a single. Spiegelmeyer takes a hard turn after it kicked off the chest of the center fielder Reichman. Now the Bulldogs have some pretty good speed on base, but Colby, so far, getting men on base hasn't been the problem. It's getting them home.
Yes, 7 have been left on through the first 4 innings tonight, and yeah, that's been a little bit of a problem, but it'd be great to push through here.
Slide step, first pitch swinging by Carter Bates, fouls it straight back into the net. Spiegelmeyer, modest lead off first. Slide step, fastball misses away. Brister getting the sign. Delivers, breaking ball. Bates collapses on it, fouls it over the net. Brister up to 64 pitches now into the fifth.
Yeah, and if you're Bates right here, you're really just trying to hit this hard right at the second baseman. That's where his swing needs to be.
High fastball misses, throw to second. Spiegelmeyer slides in easily after a high throw, and sliding on turf, Colby, is hard to adjust to, and Spiegelmeyer holding the bag like it was a loved one.
I mean, he slid all the way around that. It looked like he was playing Twister at second, but I'm just glad he hung on.
So now the Dogs have a runner in scoring position. 2-2 count to Carter Bates. The pitch off speed up the middle, slow hit to the shortstop Bailey. He fields it, throw to first in time for out number one. So Carter Bates does move a runner up. And now it's up to Braden Chesser to drive him home. Chesser had a base hit his first at bat. Flew out to right field his last time up. He's 1 for 2.
Important to not do too much too in these situations. That's where the Dogs have gotten in trouble this year. Is just they want to so bad, you can tell, and they're overly aggressive and they're dropping that back shoulder, trying to be a hero really. But it's just important. Just go up there and do your thing. Hit the ball in line somewhere hard. Let the rest take care of itself. I mean that's all you can do.
Very patient approach by Chesser. Takes a 1-0 pitch in the zone for strike one. Brister working fast, high fastball, and Chesser fouls it up near the light pole. It's now Braden behind in the count 1-2, and right here you're looking to see the freshman take a veteran at bat. Just put it in play somewhere to get a run home. You can't get them all back in one swing. The 1-2, breaking ball, great take. Count even 2-2. The 2-2 breaking ball. Chesser sits back, fouls it off.
We've seen this a lot from him this year, being that guy that just fights to the end in every at bat, and it's really impressive.
The 2-2 again a breaking ball. Chesser on the ground to second to Traub. He fields it. Throw on to first for the out, but Spiegelmeyer comes across to score. It's an RBI ground out for Braden Chesser, and the Dogs are just trying to chip away. They're down by 3.
Although they're still down 3, that's the pro at bat that this team hasn't had much this year. It's just guys on third, hit the other way, take your run. We haven't seen that a ton, and that was really good by Braden to just go ahead and do that. I mean, that was a real pro at bat.
So Brister trying to keep us awake over here behind the plate. 1-0 pitch to Kylan Seal, breaking ball way out in front. And Seal has been one of the few guys who just hasn't been able to quite sit back enough on that breaking ball.
Yeah, he's just real antsy up there, which is, uh-oh.
Well, this time he does. Chopper to short. Bailey kicks off of him, and Seal beats it out. So with 2 outs, the Dogs get a base runner on the E6. And now's where you got to make them pay for the mistakes. That's already a few errors now on the Raiders.
I mean, all you can do is hit a ball hard somewhere, and it's even better when you're playing on turf because stuff like that will happen. It'll bounce, not weird, but just hard. Harder velo coming off the ground from a hard hit ball, and you got to judge it differently. It's not going to be a Sunday hop, or you don't have to stay down. It really is going to bounce up like a bouncy ball. I mean, that's what's going to happen. So great job by Seal, just hit one hard and dig down the line.
First pitch breaking ball to Lewis, aggressive cut, back pick, and the throw's late. Seal dives back in. So Lewis tried to hit a 5-run home run on that swing. The 0-1. Another breaking ball. This time he holds back. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Yeah, really, this is the part where John Michael has kind of struggled this year, down 2 strikes. Really want to see him kind of just shorten up, not, start a little earlier, try to hit something the other way.
Spikes a fastball. Seal gets a good break, and it rolls away from Riley. And now the Dogs have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs and some 2-out magic, 2-strike magic from John Michael Lewis. Might be a big run.
Base hit, might score the run, hitting the gap or down the line definitely does. This is a huge at bat for John Michael.
The 2-2. Breaking ball. Called strike 3. So the Bulldogs able to get one back, but they strand another. Your score, Dogs 2, Raiders 5, and we're going to the home 5th. It'll be the pitcher, Nolan Brister, leading things off for the Raiders. And Brister was robbed after a great play in the left center field gap by Aiden Spiegelmeyer the last inning. Seal goes right at him. A high fly ball in the left, shallow left. Qualls coming in, and he makes the catch. And Kraft almost colliding with Qualls. And right there, Colby, you'd like to see a bit better communication because that's probably Major's ball all the way.
Yeah, it's. I was watching Major that whole way. It's almost like he just never got a good beat on it. He was like, not. We know how fast the kid is. It's not like he was dead sprinting to the ball, but it just looked like he didn't pick it up or the spin, and the ball was just kind of floating out there. But either way, play was made. Good first pitch, Kylan Seal.
Another off-speed pitch lined in the left. This one gets down for a hit, and it's past Major Qualls, and that rolls almost to the wall. So it's a single, and Riley reaches second on the E7. Dodge Olsen back in to run for the catcher, Riley. And Seal stepping off, instinctively goes to the windup with a runner on second. Now it's Ethan Christie. He's 1 for 2, struck out and singled. Nice pitch, dotting the outside corner for strike 1. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, got him chasing the off-speed in the dirt.
Probably one of the better off-speed pitches we've seen tonight from Seal. And a great block by Tractor back there to quickly get up with the ball and stare that runner down so he could advance.
The 0-2. Low. Another nice play behind the plate by McCaleb. And Braden almost had a little bit of deception. Looked like he was setting up high, then Seal goes low. The 1-2. Breaking ball, got him swinging. That's 2 outs.
That was a breaking ball starting at the batter's eyes, finishing middle, and it just Those are tough. Those are tough when you get deep in the count. You have to fend that off. Great pitch by Consil.
Christian Hunzinger stepping in. He's 1 for 1 with a sac fly and a single into right field. He would later come around and score on the base hit. First pitch, chopper up the middle. Kraft fields the hop, has time, lobs on to first, and the Dogs have 6 outs to play with to score 3 runs. Kylan's able to strand a runner at second. It'll be 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Dogs to start the 6th, starting with Wyatt Bates. He's 0 for 1. He's struck out and he's walked. And Colby, at what point, if you're a Bates, do you maybe try a little bit of small ball, try to be a leadoff base runner?
Yeah, he's done a good job with that this year, so I'm sure it's a possibility, but you're just looking for base runners at this point.
First pitch, fastball misses high. Bates ahead 1-0. Breaking ball, and that has been Brister's go-to pitch all night when he needs a strike.
Yeah, that little loopy one that's inside just kind of freezes you as a batter, and you think you have to take so much time, and then you're a little late, honestly, on it, which is kind of weird, but that is what that pitch does to a batter.
So now Bates behind in the count, 1-2, chokes up, misses way outside in the left-handed batter's box, evens the count 2-2. Fastball right there for a called strike 3, and it's 1 up, 1 down to start the 6th. So now with 1 out, Braden McCaleb trying to be a leadoff hitter. He's 1 for 2. He's flown out to center, and he reached on an infield single. That awkward pop-up right behind the pitcher's mound that just fell right in between the triangle of the shortstop, pitcher, and second baseman. The 1-0, McCaleb takes. And something that's been lacking from McCaleb's ABs since his return, he just hasn't been looking at a whole lot of pitches. He's very aggressive, perhaps at times overly aggressive. 2-0. Grounded the shortstop, fields on the 1 hop, off balance throw. Nice play by Bailey. And that's quickly 2 outs. So it's back to the top of the order for the Bulldogs with Major Qualls, who's been swinging it really, really well. He's 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. And what's interesting about Major, Colby, is that he's been getting his hits to the opposite field. Breaking ball, again first pitch swinging. And he's just seeing it like a beach ball. A 3-hit night for Major Qualls.
Yeah, when you're seeing it like that, you really don't want to see too many pitches. Just first one you see, just hit it right back at him. I mean, he like you said, he's seeing like a beach ball, like a big one of those big yoga balls. I mean, he's locked in right now.
So Andy Kraft trying to keep the train going. First pitch called strike 1.
If I'm Coach Duchesne right here, I might just send him. I mean, he hadn't got an opportunity to do it yet tonight, but I might just let him go wild right here. Test this guy.
The Dogs have already gotten a couple of steals already in this game. The 0-1. Qualls takes off, hit and run, line drive, and it's an easy one hop for Bailey. Throw to first is in time, and the Bulldogs have stranded yet another runner on base. So we're going to the bottom of the 6th. The Dogs are trying to keep it right here at a 3-run game. And Kylan Seal back out on the mound for the Bulldogs, trying to get through this as quickly as possible. And other than the 1 inning back in the 4th where Spring Hill put up 4 runs, this game has been moving by pretty quick, Colbs.
It has, which it doesn't feel like it has because I Game Changer has 9 hits for the Dogs. I have 10, and we have a walk in there. So there's been a bunch of base runners, innings just kind of stop. You know what I mean? And other than that one big inning in the 4th for Spring Hill, they haven't really done anything. So yeah, that's the story of it right now. Is Spring Hill capitalized for an inning, batted around, and Dogs just haven't been able to all too much tonight.
So it's 7-8-9 due up for the Raiders, starting with Owen Bernardo. He's 1 for 2 with a sac fly, a single. He grounded out to the shortstop Kraft his last time up. Now he's behind in the count 0-1.
He had that first pitch hit right back up the middle to greet Seal into the ball game, if we remember that from the 4th.
The 1-1 from Seal. Spikes it in the dirt, blocked by McCaleb. The 2-1 also misses low. Bernardo way ahead, 3-1. The 3-1 missed it. So Bernardo works a leadoff walk. And now it's the 8-hole hitter, number 16, Samuel Traub. And he doesn't have a registered at-bat thus far tonight. He's 0 for 0, and he's worked 2 walks. And that'll be the end of the day for Kylan Seal. So Seal went an inning and 2/3, gave up 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. So again, Colbs, not terrible pitching performances by Lewis or Seal by any means. It's just been very timely situational baseball being played by the Raiders.
Yeah, I think they both threw the ball pretty well. Just like you said, just situational hitting, some good at bats fully to get into walking counts and being able to produce there. I mean, aside from the 4th inning, the Dogs have looked great. 4th inning just killed them, and there were some calls that were judged differently by both teams. I would say there was some unfortunate stuff happened, but that's the difference in this game. It's just Spring Hill's offense in the 4th. That's it. But I think Seal threw the ball pretty well. Couple walks, but other than that, not bad. Lewis threw the ball really well, and we've seen Jackson Bates throw the ball really well all year. So it's like nothing different, just 1 inning.
So Coach DeShane relying on the freshman, Jackson Bates, to keep this a 3-run ball game. He comes in with a runner on first after Seal gave up the leadoff walk. And now he faces Samuel Traub, who's been very disciplined, a very tough out.
Yeah, 2 walks. He did get out on the bases on that double play earlier in the game in the third. But like you said, no registered bats right now, just 2 walks. So if you're coming in this game, Jackson Bates, you're looking at those strikes. Not only because of that, but you got a guy on first already in this inning. Looking at those strikes, and he's done a good job, just like the other Jackson Warren, of having that soft contact this year and making them beat him. So I expect nothing else from him.
So got to be mindful of the runner Bernardo over at first. He runs pretty well. Bates comes set. Little slide step. Traub bunts. Back to the mound. Bates fields it. Only play to first. And he got him. So it's a sac bunt by Samuel Traub, and now Spring Hill, runner in scoring position with 1 out for the 9-hole hitter, Hunter Reisinger. Or Reichman, sorry. So he's 0 for 2. He's grounded into a double play, and he struck out looking. First pitch in there for a strike.
It's going to be a little different velo than the other 2. He still throws hard, but it's not the same as the other 2. But that's the pitch that is going to help him out, that little soft, almost change-up that's going to come in on a right-handed batter.
The 0-1 to Reichman. Nice breaking ball. Swung on and missed. So the freshman bringing the funk.
Yeah, that's a gross 1-2 in this count. I kind of feel bad for the 9-hole hitter for Spring Hill here.
The 0-2. Line sharply. Foul.
Great instincts by that first base coach to just lean out of the way. Very classy move by him. Also, back to the actual game, with that last fastball, that little curve ball we saw, second pitch, it's back in play.
The 0-2. Breaking ball struck him out. Good grief.
Yeah, he set that up well with the fastball right before. He showed it to him earlier in the bat, so it was something that the batter had to keep in mind. Then he threw that fastball. Batter got on that and hit it the other way. And he was like, you know what? Here it is again. Try to hit it. And he couldn't. So great pitch by Mr. Bates.
And how often do you see a freshman with breaking stuff that moves like that? It's now 2 outs. Back to the top of the order with Will Bailey. Off speed line to left field. That's down. Windmill's on at third. Qualls. The throw to the plate. Lewis cuts it off. And Colby, he probably could have just let that go. They might have had a play at the plate.
He might have also had the play at second. But both ways, I think I would let it go through, like you're saying. It was going to be close.
Qualls with a good arm in left field, but now Spring Hill's lead has extended to 4. 6-2. Now Hayden Reichman trying to add on. First pitch popped him up. Spiegelmeyer coming in. He makes the call, and he makes the catch. So the Raiders with some insurance, and now the Dogs looking for some late-game heroics. They've got 3 outs to play with. We're on to the 7th on WNKX. Starting the top of the 7th, it'll be 3, 4, and 5 for the Dogs, starting with Aiden Spiegelmeyer. Spigs is 2 for 3, pops it to center field. Shading over, and it's 1 pitch and 1 out. So not an ideal start to the game's final frame for the Dogs. And Brister, who's nearing that century mark in pitch count, I mean, you'd like to see him throw a bit more in a single at-bat.
Yeah,
And Bates' first pitch swinging, grounds it up the middle. That's through for a 1-out single. So now the Dogs, who are still in Grand Slam territory, just have to keep the line moving. And again, Colby, the Dogs have gotten this is probably the most hits Hickman County's gotten in a single game, maybe all year. Maybe 1 or 2 other games prior. Pick off to first, back in safe. I mean, they have been hitting the ball really well, just not with guys in scoring position. Yeah. 1 out, first pitch, Chester swinging at a breaking ball, fouls it back. The 0-1. Breaking ball misses high. Little slide step. Chesser, sharp ground ball. Past the diving Traub. And the Dogs go station to station. First and second. And with Kylan Seal at the plate, the tying run is on deck.
I mean, if you're going to do it, this is how you start it. Base runners, base runners, base runners. Very valuable. Any time of the game, especially when you're down late.
And Colby, we see the coach making a visit to the mound, so not sure if he's going to go with a new arm or maybe this is just going to be a motivational pep talk to try to get through the rest of this game. I mean, Brister is at 96 pitches. He's going to be feeling it in the shoulder in the morning.
Oh, no. They're young. They're good. Just a lot of poles, Josh.
A lot of poles, a lot of poles.
Let's go, Nolan! Finish, Nolan!
So they're going to ride with Nolan Brister all the way. So now Kylan Seal steps into the box for the Bulldogs. He hasn't quite gotten it going at the plate tonight. He's 0 for 3, reached on an E6. First pitch misses low and away for ball 1. And now, Colby, if you're at the plate, you know the pitcher might be dealing with some fatigue. You can't be giving away anything at the plate. The 1-0. Breaking ball in for a strike.
That might be the one to hit right there, but if it's not something you're looking for, it's not something you're looking for. It was right there, though.
Well, we have seen Seal out on his front foot with that breaking ball tonight. Maybe just waiting until he sees a fastball.
One more!
Called strike 2. So Seal looking to shorten up, just to put something in play behind in the count 1 and 2. Off speed, outside, ball 2. Stone cold take by Kylan. 2-2. Brister delivers, spikes it, full count. So one of the biggest pitches of the game. I know we can only say that so many times before it loses its meaning, but 3-2, breaking ball, called strike 3.
Yes, sir! One more!
So now John Michael Lewis stepping into the box, trying to keep the Bulldogs' hopes alive. He had a single in his first AB, hasn't done much since. First pitch. It's been a rare fastball. We've seen Brister definitely leaning on the off speed.
Especially, I feel like as the game has gone on, it's been heavier and heavier off-speed pitches.
1-0 at the shins, ball 2. 2-0. In there, strike one. Two one.
Yes, sir.
Breaking
One
ball.
more. Let's go.
A high strike.
Let's go.
2-2.
Yeah.
Struck him out swinging.
Let's go.
So the Bulldogs fall to the Spring Hill Raiders by a final score of 6-2. Nolan Brister finishes off the complete game. His final line, he goes the distance, 7 innings, 11 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts. So Colby on 107 pitches. It was a gutsy performance indeed by the Spring Hill starter.
Yeah, going the distance. Some of that just being the aggressiveness of the Dogs hitters. I mean, he gave up 10 hits, and Dogs lost the game. So that's tough. 10 hits and a walk in there, and can't really get much other than 2 runs for the Dogs. But, credit to Brisker for keeping them off balance. There's a lot of breaking balls. It kind of got to the point where you almost expected the Dogs to know what was coming, but credit to him for locating that pitch. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a weird performance for the Dogs, I'll say, because I feel like we were talking off between innings, probably the most hits we've seen in a game this year. I would say definitely. I need to look at it, but you just got 2 runs to show for it, and it's like you want something more out of it. It just didn't happen. So. Credit to Brisker for keeping them off balance, but I feel like the Dogs just beat themselves tonight. I got to be honest. I'm not. I hate to be like that, but that's how I feel. Like we saw the Dogs have 10 hits, 11 base runners, and 2 runs. That's the story of the night.
Yeah, Colby, I think you hit the nail on the head, but again, something that plagues the Bulldogs, of course, situational hitting, but the swing and miss rate is still just far, far too high still. Even with the 10-11 hits, 9 strikeouts still. We still saw a lot of swing and misses on top of the solid contact. So something Hickman County's just going to have to figure out as they go into the district tournament next week. But there's still one more game remaining in the regular season. We're on the road tomorrow to downtown Nashville as the Bulldogs take on Hume Fogg. And the game has a new start time of 4:30 p.m. So be looking out for updates as well, because we do know there is some risk of severe weather, some rainfall, some storms. So if anything changes at all, you'll hear from us. We'll provide updates as they're made available. But right now the plan is 4:30 tomorrow night at Hume Fogg for the final game of the regular season. The Bulldogs fought valiantly here tonight, but they come up just short in Murray County once again by a final score of 6-2. For Colby Shelton, I've been Josh Copley saying so long from WNKX.